Hey guys, and today is time for Tamona's Tuesday tip. I have some potatoes here that are getting old and really ugly. So what I'm going to do with these potatoes is make some tater tots. And I wanted to share the video with you guys. Okay, so first we're just going to peel all of our potatoes. Now if you have some really decent looking potatoes, unlike what I have here, you're going to use about 4 to 6 potatoes depending upon the size. If you have some good sized potatoes, then of course you only need the 4, okay? So I'll go ahead and get all of these peeled, and I'll come back and show you exactly what ingredients you're going to be using for these tater tots. Okay guys, while my daughter peels the potatoes, I figured it would be a good time to go ahead and tell you what else is going to go into our tater tots. Here I have some jalapenos that I'm going to dice up really small. And these are just the jalapenos that you buy in the store that are sitting in the vinegar and getting all soft. So I'm going to chop these up really tiny. I also will be adding cheese. You can add whatever kind of cheese you want to add. It could be just straight cheddar. I have a blend here that I'm going to use. I would suggest using maybe about a cup of cheese, but I mean, that's solely up to you. I'm a big cheese fan, and this being a very thin, and I'm making a mess, sorry about that, being a very thin cheese is going to mix in really well, so a little more than a cup is fine. But at least 1 cup of shredded cheese. Okay? So I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Clean up some of the mess that I'm making here. Alright, and the next step is to just go ahead and chop up my peppers. While I chop up my peppers, I'm going to have my daughter, my other daughter, who's not peeling the potatoes, I'm going to have her add in 1 cup of flour into this bowl. For me, I like to have every bit of the pepper in there. I don't really care about seeds. I know a lot of people do. If you care about seeds, then you might not want to use this kind of pepper when you do it, because then you can kind of control the seeds a little bit better. And I'm not cutting this well because I'm trying to do 2 things at once. So, but just kind of however fine you want it chopped, or if you don't want it at all, you don't have to have it, but I like it. Okay, so we've got 1 cup of flour, and now to this we're going to add 1 egg to our cheese and flour mixture. And I'll go ahead and stir this up a bit. To this mixture, we're going to actually add our potatoes that we are peeling and we're going to boil. Okay? I'll go ahead and let my daughter crack the egg and add it. Perfect. All right. So this is definitely something that you can get the kids in on, and like I said, if you don't want to add the peppers, you really don't have to add the peppers, okay? So I'll go ahead and get all this chopped up, and I'll just toss all of the jalapeno peppers, like I like them about that big, into the bowl also, because I want to have everything ready for when those potatoes are done boiling. You're going to boil your potatoes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, depending upon how hard your potato is. Since my potatoes are getting kind of old and I want to use them up, and they're pretty soft, 10 minutes tops is what I'm going to boil these potatoes for. So I'll be right back once we have our potatoes all boiled. Okay guys, so we're back. We have our potatoes boiled, and now we're just you're gonna take a fork, like I'm using an extra big fork because I have a lot to do, and just kind of do like a grating motion. You can always use a grater if you prefer to use a grater or a food processor. I'm just gonna do the fork today so I can show you guys the fork. do that to the entire bowl. In another bowl, you're going to beat 1 egg, okay? Beat it real good, get it all mixed up, and have that sitting in the bowl. Once we have all of this grated, I'll come back and tell you guys what to do next. Okay guys, we're back, and I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of butter that I already have out here. Okay. At this point, you can go ahead and season. Like if you have black pepper, salt, whatever seasonings you want to use are fine. I like a lot of pepper. I also like a lot of garlic, but that's a whole nother video. And then a little salt all around. We'll mix that in without making a mess, guys. Unlike what I'm doing here. Okay. Dang. So we'll get this all mixed together really well. And the next thing that you're going to put in here, and like I said, I don't remember if I actually mentioned this before, but these potatoes are like room temperature. So they're not hot at all. That's very important. And I left them in big hunks also because that's 1/2 a cup of milk. I'm sorry, I meant to tell you that. I left them in big hunks because I like to taste the potato. But that's 1/2 cup of milk that I'm adding to the potato mixture. And the next step, and your milk can be room temperature, or if your potatoes are still a little bit warm, then you might want to use cold milk to help cool the potatoes down. Okay? And as I mentioned before, 1 egg beaten very well in a little bowl. We're going to go ahead and add that to that mixture. And yes, you do still add the first egg that you added into your dry mixture. And me just being the pepper lover that I am, I'm going to add a few jalapeno peppers. These are actually left from the ones that I showed you guys before. So I didn't cut up extra. It was still the same amount. Okay. I'll go ahead and start mixing all of that together. You see the eggs look a little kind of funny looking. Eggy. As the eggs look. Makes your mixture look a little eggy also. Alright. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add my cheese and flour and egg mixture, and then I'll come right back. Okay guys, so we're back. We have our mixture all mixed up real good there. Looks like good old mush. Okay. Now, if you have a small ring the size of a tater tot, that would help you in shaping your tater tot. Also, a small tiny cookie cutter would help you with shaping your tater tot. And also, you know those muffin pans where they have the little tiny, you can make the little tiny muffins with them? That would be really, really great if you have one that's really, really tiny. Or you could always use like the medicine cup that comes with some medicines. Okay, now if you have an ice cream scoop, this will be really, really good, but I don't buy ice cream scoops that are that tiny. So I'm going to show you what it'll look like with the medicine cup as your guide. Okay. And then just kind of pack it down in there really, really, really well, if you can. Oopsie. I'm coming out of the shop for a second so I can actually see what I'm doing, but In a perfect world, this would have worked, y'all. Okay. I'll scoop it back out. I like doing it with my hands better anyway. Okay, so just roll it. At this point, you guys can always roll these in panko breadcrumbs. Which is what I would highly suggest. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. You can fry them just like this. And I'll actually do one both ways. Okay? So you guys can see it. But let me go ahead and get these together. And also, if you have one of those cookie guns that will shoot out a tube at one time of, you know, your dough, you can always put these in the cookie gun and shoot them out and then come back and cut them. So I'm going to get the panko breadcrumbs right now and roll a few in panko so that you can see what they both look like once they're fried. Okay, now we are ready for the frying stage. I just brought a few of them over so that we can fry them right now. It's a lot, so I have a lot to do. So, that's without any panko, any kind of panko or anything on it. And this one has panko. Shape on that one's kind of funny, but we'll go ahead and get some friends popping off into this skillet. Get away from each other. It'd be better if I had a metal spatula, but I don't right now. Don't do that at home. Don't do that at home. That is so bad. I shouldn't have done it myself. Okay. Y'all can't smell this, but they smell good. I should be using my tongs right now, but I didn't get those out in time. So I will get those out in a minute. And y'all, they start to move close to each other really, really quickly. So you have to move really, really quickly, and they cook really, really quickly. Gosh, that's gonna make a mess. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start taking a few of them out. They are brown and they are ready. And I'm gonna have to get my tongs because I'm not gonna be burning myself too many more times today. That is not on the menu. And of course, you could always do this in your deep fryer, but my deep fryer is a electric turkey fryer. Because I don't like standing and frying all day. So, that's why I didn't break out my deep fryer for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and take him out so he can finish cooking on the paper towel. You see, you just brown them in the skillet and you are all done. And they are all delicious. So I'll show you guys the final picture of them. And this was our panko one. Just in case you guys were wondering. Whoop, can you see that? Okay. This is our panko one. And these guys are all the naked ones. Whoops. So, not a huge difference. And yes, Lord, that was hot. And I'm standing there holding it. But okay, so I'll go ahead and show you guys a picture in just a minute.